Yo, what's up, Transformdom? This is Ben here, and today we're going to take a look at the MP-52 Thundercracker KO. And so here's the box from the front, and immediately I noticed that the print image here, the quality isn't as sharp as the original. But if you're buying KOs, I don't think that really matters. And here's a shot from the side, and here's another shot from the other side, the top, bottom, with no production stamps, and back. So let's crack this puppy open. Ooh, smells real good. The flight stands are not fastened. You got the collector card and the instruction manual. Alright, so got all these accessories. Wow, the purple is very vibrant. Yeah, and a lot more vibrant than the original. This is the KO and this is the original, and you can see side by side. This is a lot more vibrant. Very nice. But here's the main event. Oh, a little bit of a mismatched blue. And of course, this part here is unfinished, just like the MP-52 KO. A lot of paint scrubbing and scratching. Yeah, I see a lot of paint scuffs. You know, what do you expect from a KO, right? They're not gonna care about how things are made as long as it's made. All right, let's fix this up and get down to the review. Okay, so here is the MP-52 KO, and as you can see from here, I really tried to peg everything in place, even transform this halfway, and then try to transform it back. That kind of worked for the MP-52 KO, but not for this MP-52 Plus, and the gap is quite noticeable and quite visible. So if this is going to bother you, you know, each and every KO copy is going to be slightly different, and this is going to be a common issue among the KOs, and then sometimes with a bit of luck and a little bit more transformation, perhaps it will line up a little bit better. Well, it turns out that after the bot mode review and transforming back to the jet mode, it turned out that I could peg in all these little pieces here nicely. Not bad at all. I mean, it's not exactly perfect, but it's pretty darn good. But anyway, this is how the plane looks. Paint is okay. It feels a little powdery on the touch. There is a bit of paint scuffling here. You can see there. A bit of paint mismatch over there. A little bit of blemish over here. And let's take a look at the tolerances, shall we? The nose cone. There you go. The nose cone opens up. Okay, this is the first time I'm doing it on camera, and it fits quite nicely. The cockpit opens up. Oh, there you go. Just like the MP-52 KO, I got to pull the seat up. There you go. The seat comes up, and now it's yeah, it tabs in. Not easily flushed, but it does tab in. The air intake here, as you can see, is a little bit off-centered, and I've tried to wiggle it, but I think that's just part of the problem. The tolerances in the alt mode, in jet mode, I don't think this is going to be best displayed as an alt mode vehicle. The flaps are okay on the left wing. This one is a little bit off-centered, and it's not as flushed over here compared to this other side here. It's a little bit better, you know, but that's what you get out of the KOs right now. The thrusters are pretty good. As you can see, the landing gear opens up and it's quite okay. A little bit loose here on the ankle joints here, so I don't know whether it's gonna affect the robot mode. So for accessories, we got these thrusters. I think they should fit just nicely, just like the MP-52 KO. Let's take a look. Yeah, see, it fits quite nicely. Gotta pull out the thrusters so you can peg in the effects. And it's good, it holds well. And my copy of the MP-52 KO did not come with the flight stand adapter. It just wasn't put in there. You know, what do you expect? This is from a KO company, and then the flight stand assembles pretty nicely, and there you go. This is the flight stand from the KO. Holds up very nicely. Yeah, holds up pretty solid. And from an angle, it's also pretty good. It is losing out to the weight. And the final bit of accessory is that I could transform the null rays to these missile pods and assemble it like this, so I can have an all-in-one transformation, or have it separately like this. So let's get on to the bot mode review. So here's the MP-52 Plus KO in the bot mode. Let's take a look at the accessories. It does come with these light up battery operated face plates and a special helmet that contains the battery. I'm not going to look through these because it's already in my MP-52 KO video, but let's take a look at MP-52 Plus KO. Right, his accessories. It comes with this little blast effect and it should plug in very nicely. Nope, not quite on this guy. What about the other null ray? Okay, it fits okay, very tightly on one of the null rays. There you go. It's a blast effect. Pew pew. I can make the arm go like that. There you go. Has a bit of a ratchet. That's one of the blast effects. And that's another blast effect. I love the purple on this KO version. There you go, it fits nicely on the other one. And that's the effect. And of course there's this little bulge up effect that will fit quite nicely. It's a little bit of a tight fit for these effects, but I guess it will peg in. For the faces, we have the original. Here's the screaming face, the smiling face, and a laughing face. Okay, now onto the toy itself. I should say that there are quite a number of paint blemishes and paint scratches, and it's just not finished in a nice proper way. So we've got some paint scratches over here on the side skirts, and then on the side abs over here there's a bit of paint blemish, mainly on the parts where there's a bit of die cast. Secondly, I have issues with tabbing things in and moving parts around. First of all, I have this issue here where this will not tab in securely. I mean, I can just kind of move it. Just kind of, it's like it won't tab in very nicely over there. And I have issues with the air intake, shoulder air intakes here. See, it on the original it would peg in nicely, and that's the tolerances for the tolerances here where this parts will not move very nicely. So I can get it to move here, but it was such a pain in the butt to peg this shoulder air intake over there. During transformation, it was quite challenging to have a lot of these wing parts here. The ankle joints here is rock solid so far, and so this KO copy that I have ain't the very best. So here's the MP-52 KO, and this guy was a lot better. The only issue with this MP-52 KO is that the back here would not tap in as nicely, but I have no problems with moving this air intake part, as you can see there. Having the side piece here was a whole lot better on the MP-52 KO as well. So here's a side-by-side comp for the two MP-52 Plus. The KO here on the right and the Authentic on the left. You can see that there is a bit of a paint difference, maybe not so obvious on camera, but there's definitely a slight tone difference. You can see that this here has a darker finish for the chest beige parts, as well as a slightly darker sky blue color. This orange tint here is also a little darker, but if you were to put them separately on a shelf, I don't think you will be able to spot the difference. And comparing that with the Authentic MP-52 Plus, I wouldn't say everything was tight, but it's definitely a lot more manageable, a lot easier to tab in. You can see how nicely everything tabs in on the original. The underarms here all tab in very nicely. So I guess you get what you paid for, right? Yeah, it's a little on the looser end, right? There's a lot more friction joints. It's quite steady. And the KO is also a little bit steadier with more ratchets everywhere. Like this is a ratchet, and then the hips here are ratchet. What about the hips here? They're on a softer ratchet, and I don't have any ankle problems here. And look at how easy it stands. KO2 stands quite easily. Both stand very easily indeed. So what are my final thoughts? Is the MP-52 KO worth the buy? If you're just going to transform this toy once and leave him on the shelf, that's great. I think this is quite worth the price. Hopefully you get a copy with a good paint job with very little scratching. Now, if you like to pose your toys, play around with it, with these different action poses, then I think you will enjoy the Authentic a little more, because I got quite frustrated trying to adjust all these things that would not tab in very nicely on the KO. With the Authentic, you can have the joy of posing and things will move and tab quite easily because it's engineered that way. Plus, with the Authentic, you always get the pleasure of supporting the originators of the IP. Personally, because it's a bit of a crapshoot in terms of what you're going to get for buying a KO. There's definitely going to be tolerance issues. There's definitely going to be good copies, bad copies out there. More so than the Authentic, where there's a lot less bad copies out there, even though it doesn't feel that way, especially on social media, because guess what? Most people who have good copies will not report that they have good copies. They'll just enjoy the toys in the private pleasures of their home. But when they get a bad copy, people will sound it out. They'll sound the disappointment, and I get it. I was disappointed with this copy because there's a bit of a paint scratch that I have on my Authentic, which is less than a centimeter long, so I can't get a refund for this toy. More about that in the actual review when I get to it. So that's it. Those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Please leave them in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and share buttons, and also smash the sub bell icons for more future vids. Again, this is Ben signing off. Happy New Year, and I'll see you on the flip side.